35-year-old Christina Yuna Lee was a Korean-American young woman born in Canoga Park, California. She was a graduate from Rutgers University and lived in New Jersey before moving to Chinatown in New York City. She was living there for just under a year while working for the music platform Splice. She worked as their creative producer and was described as a sweet, hardworking, and kind-spirited woman. She was the type of person that supported her friends in everything that they did. She went above and beyond to make those she loved know that she was there for them, never expecting anything in return. Christina spent her evening with friends as usual and went out to a nightclub until the early morning. At some time between 4 and 4:30 a.m., Christina took an Uber home to her Christie Street apartment building. It was around this point where a homeless man spotted her heading to her building and crept behind her. He caught the entry door to her apartment as she went in. He is seen through surveillance video, trailing behind her as she climbs to the 6th floor, climbing up one floor below as she goes. At some point, Christina arrived at her door, and he took this opportunity to rush her inside her apartment. A neighbor across the hallway from Christina called 911 around 4:30 a.m. after hearing Christina scream, "Help me," and call 911 over and over again. Police nearby came to the scene but could not manage to open her door. When they came, they still heard her screams, but then she went quiet. Another female voice emerged saying, "We don't need the police here. Go away." He eerily tried to mimic a woman's voice to throw the police officers off. Christina Yuna Lee was found bludgeoned in her bathtub with multiple stab wounds said to be over 40. The killer had used her own kitchen knives during the attack. He allegedly tried to escape through the fire escape, but saw authorities outside and decided to barricade himself inside instead. She was pronounced dead at 5:55 a.m. Upon entering and searching her apartment, the police found the man responsible hiding under her bed, naked from the waist up. This despicable man is Asamad Nash. 25-year-old Asamad Nash was reported to be homeless and living in a shelter at the time of the crime. He was also out on supervised release for 3 other open cases. He had an extensive record of arrests dating back to 2012 from both New Jersey and New York, but none to this scale. In his most recent arraignment on March 16th, Asamad Nash claimed to have been a victim too. He told police that he was trying to protect Christina, putting the blame on a dude who, in his words, stabbed us up. He has been charged with first-degree murder, first-degree burglary, and first-degree burglary as a sexually motivated felony. This would mark his 8th arrest since May 2021. He has since pled not guilty, and his next court date is July 18th. This case sparked outrage and protests in New York City as the city saw 131 targeted attacks on New Yorkers of Asian descent in 2021, up from just 27 in 2020. Stop AAPI Hate, an advocacy organization that collects data on attacks against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders, said it has received more than 11,000 reports nationwide of hate incidents from March 2020 to the end of the year. Christina's murder is among a series of recent killings and unprovoked assaults on Asian Americans, but it also highlights a scary situation I have seen all too often. It always starts with a woman being followed to her home and apartment and just merely escaping the tracks of their stalker in a life-threatening outcome. Only in this case, there was no escape or survivor outcome, unfortunately, for Christina. I advise all of the women watching this to stay vigilant and aware of your surroundings, especially when traveling back home alone and at night. It might also help to have a trusted male friend escort you home if you're arriving late. Get a Ring doorbell camera, never open the door unless you know somebody is coming, and as always, carry defense weapons. May Christina's beautiful soul be remembered and rest in peace, and feel free to support her memorial fund below. More developments in this case is to come, but in the meantime, stay safe and thank you for watching.